Alright, for anyone that has not yet heard, we do have some updated information as to what is happening with the current tower event and also for the events that are continuing into the new year. So Globalia's tower, a lot of people have been very confused as to what's happening because usually we have 8-hour resets in these events and other events in Dragon City. But it has changed as of this event, and we didn't actually get any warning for this happening. They just sort of sprang it on us. But Globalia's tower and the events that are happening during the Christmas period have actually been changed. Not in terms of how the events themselves work, because you can see here that this is regular old tower event. Like, all that we do is we spin the little spinner, we move the set amount of places, and we make our way to either the catapults or the event items. This is the same as it always has been. However, how you actually earn the currency is, well, it's still the same, but also different in terms of how much we're getting. Because instead of you logging in once every 8 hours, instead you'll now be logging in once every 24 hours. And on top of that, we did notice, and it has been taken into account, that we have a lot more event currency available in the Snug quests, which are the quests that give you tower coins. Now, we got this confirmed because it was officially posted on the Dragon City Discord server, and we've got the announcement in my channel here, which said, today we bring you an important announcement. We have changed how you obtain event coins during the Saving Snow Globia event. So parts 1 and 2 live from December 11th until January 4th. This will affect the event coins for the tower, maze, and grid islands. You will now be able to get many more event coins by playing the event quests in the Colosseum, and you'll be able to farm event coins by collecting food and gold once every 24 hours as opposed to every 8 hours. And then we got a little teaser for the upcoming beta events arena rush stuff, so who cares about that? But anyway, what this means is that instead of you having to log in for resets every 8 hours, which is pretty easy anyway, now all that you have to do is once every 24 hours just go and get a level 1 dragon, like say hatch a new dragon, whatever that may be. Like we could sell this guy because we're not going to use him, then we could go and throw a Terra Dragon egg in, hatch that, and then all that you have to do is feed up this singular dragon, and that is it. You would get all of your event currency in one reset, super nice and easily after a few seconds, and that would be all the grinding that you would have to do for the whole day, which is insanely easy. The only exception to that is that we have the quest to do, which the cooldown's 2 hours on the quest, but as you can see right now, I've been super busy today. I haven't been logging in like on the dot at all, but despite that, we are nearly done with stage 9 already. So all of the quests are nearly done with a day, 14 hours left, and this will be done in 30 minutes. Which means that you have like an insanely long amount of time leeway where you can just not log into the game and still finish off all of these quests. They've got super low cooldowns, they give lots of bonus currency, and if you finish all of them, which is really easy, there you go. That's just saving you having to log in for extra resets. So, even though everyone was panicking and freaking out and saying, Socialpoint is the worst, we hate you, you're the worst company of all time, like what is wrong with you? I actually very much like these changes. Now, the only problem is that if you are busy for a whole day, obviously you are going to miss a lot of currency, because rather than picking up little snippets of currency over time, all of the currency is going to be from one reset, but at the same time, you've nearly got close to 48 hours to be able to collect whatever currency that you want. And because, you know, we're going to have a 24-hour reset that changes into another 24-hour reset, which means that you could like log in straight away for a 24-hour reset, then not log in for like another 47 hours, and then you'd still be able to get all of the currency from both resets. So you can practically not play this game whatsoever and still very easily get all of the currency for tower event. Again, you just have to make sure that you log in a bit for these quests, but compared to normal, I would say that this is a massive, massive improvement. Even though I didn't actually have an issue with how the event resets worked for the 8-hour resets, but this has just made it even easier than usual. And if you look at the speed ups, it is super cheap as well. So overall, I would say that this is a really positive change. I know that players like to freak out about stuff. I don't think this is one of them. And of course, as it mentions, the other upcoming events will also be impacted by these changes as well. So it's not just going to be the tower event, it will also be different for the other upcoming events for Saving Snow Globia. I'm not sure if it's going to affect the puzzle reset, because that's every few hours to collect some extra puzzle moves. I'm assuming that's not going to be impacted. But the other two events though, well, you know, maze event in particular and such, and then we've got grid events as well that work on those time frames, but it will be the same. So we're going to have an incredibly chill Christmas in terms of these events right here. I think very positive changes so far. But at the same time, we do have the High Corrupted Time Marathon coming up. So since we're going to be grinding our asses off in that, I guess I will take some freeload event currency from this event, because then we don't have to worry about the other events pretty much at all. So there is that. And like I did mention, we do have the stuff with the arena going on, so we do have upcoming beta testing, the stuff that's ongoing, and we probably will get that released to everyone very soon. But exactly how that's going to work, we don't know as of yet. All I know is these tower event changes I'm a big fan of. I mean, tower events in general though, I am not a fan of, because it's tower event and it is completely RNG as to what you're going to get drops wise. Like if you're going for a specific item that's not at the end of, you know, a wall, then it is purely down to RNG as to whether you're going to get the drop that you want. So like if you're going for a specific insignia or something, you could just be sitting here just spinning and spinning and spinning trying to get the drop that you want, and you may never get it. So it can absolutely suck if you're going for the event chest. Sometimes it'll work out, other times not. I'm mainly still going for the top of this tower. We've got 1 day, 13 hours left. We've got all that bonus currency coming up. We should be okay, I think. But apart from that, it is just going to come down to RNG as per usual. But I think that rather than us constantly pooping on Socialpoint and complaining, this is one of those times where instead you should say, hey, Socialpoint, this is actually a good change. If you want to implement more ease of events for players, at least if they want to try out something like this, that's fine. I will say, however, though, that they definitely should have pre-warned everyone before suddenly changing this event, because of course if you saw any of what was happening on social media, everyone was freaking out saying, oh my god, Socialpoint's made it so pay to win, it's all so bad, because, you know, we hadn't had the new daily reset or anything, nothing had been explained. So realistically they should have pre-warned us rather than waiting for the players to have a hissy fit and then telling us that this is what they did. Because if they'd have told us about this beforehand, I think they would have had no end of people praising them like, oh my goodness, this is so much better, we love you, SP. But because they just didn't inform anyone, it just seemed like something had either bugged out really badly, or they'd screwed up something, or they were just not going to give us any more currency and it was exclusively going to come from quests. Because can you imagine if we got no reset currency and instead it was only from quests instead? Yeah, that would be an issue. But anyway, I digress. I think that this is a good change. I don't think that we should poop on SP for everything, and SP being a Socialpoint. Like the bulk quests recently have been really free-to-play friendly. They've been great. We've got all these other quests coming. I know that these dragons have to be level 60 to finish off the quest, but just in general, you could at least get a couple of things using the dragons if you have them. You know, the heroic quests that we've got these days are so good for free-to-play players for getting E5 heroics. You know, there's a lot of good stuff that they actually do release quite often. Sometimes I think the communication is the bit that's lacking, unfortunately. And that doesn't mean that they can't continue to improve their events like heroic races. I think they should have built-in cooldown timers displayed in-game. There's no reason why they can't. There's a lot of updates and positives that they could make in this game. But when they do, in fact, do something that is better for the players, which is, you know, these changes right here, these changes to these cooldowns, so you only have to log in once a day if you want to, I think that we should actually tell them that it's good when it is. But I know that people like to complain more than they like to point out when good things happen, so I'm not blaming you. It's just, you know, sometimes it's easy to jump on the hate trains rather than actually focusing on things that could be good for us and praising them for that. But anyway, Those are the new update changes. If there's anything you're unsure of, let me know. But I think that this is a good thing for everyone. Just feed up your level 1 dragons and be done with it. Easy clap.